So the box set of Phase 1 is done and Phase 2 starts with the third and final installment of Iron Man.
And we'll fly. Oh, we'll fly away.
So, Iron Man 3. Now, I don't think this was a good movie. I think it was pretty bad, actually. Not the worst movie in Phase 2. I think that I can think of one that's worse. And the second one, Iron Man 2, was worse as well. So it's not the worst movie in MCU, but I don't think it's a good movie. I think it's pretty bad. But let's talk about some of the moments in this movie. So it starts off in 1999, a key scene as it turns out. He's with this girl, and there's some guy called Killian, some nerdy guy who wants to talk to Tony. Doesn't get to talk to him in the end. So Tony says, "I'll meet you on the roof." And the poor guy goes and waits for Tony on the roof in 1999, and Tony never came. He waited for like 90 minutes, I think. So yeah, that is kind of harsh. But that Killian guy would turn out to be the villain. Like, that night was what made him into the villain of this movie. So yeah, there's that. Then you get introduction to the Mandarin, who I thought was going to be the main villain of this movie. Turns out he was just an actor, which was I don't know why they did that. Why would you do that? I don't know. Instead you get Killian, who's controlling the Mandarin, and he's just, well, he's got this red thing inside him, the extremist program, I think. What is it? It's just a fiery thing inside you, and you either explode or it stays inside you. And then, as it turns out, Tony Stark is having anxiety attacks after that wormhole thing in the Avengers. He's having flashbacks to that, and yeah, every time someone mentions New York, Battle of New York, he starts to panic, and yeah, it's not good to see, but yeah, he's having some I guess PTSD. Then Tony gives away his exact address to the Mandarin, or to the whole world. And I just don't know, why would you do that? I don't understand. First of all, he's rich, so wouldn't people know anyway, through Google? But anyway, why would you do that? Why? But yeah, the girl from 1999 that he was with, she turns up at his door. She wants to talk to him for whatever reason, and his house gets attacked by the Mandarin. Well, not the actual Mandarin, not the actor. Killian is actually the Mandarin, and it's just flipping confusing. Like, he wants to own terror, basically. The Mandarin is a character that he created. He wants the US to have a target or whatever, and it's just, he's gone through a lot of effort for that. He's gone through a lot of effort just to like own war. So Tony escapes the house attack scene. Everyone thinks he's dead, but he's actually alive. He lands in Tennessee. He finds out about the extremist program, the red fire thing. I don't even know what it's called. Extremist. Just call it extremist. He finds out about extremists, and he thinks that Killian's selling extremists to the Mandarin, when in reality Killian is the Mandarin, and he's not selling to anyone because the other Mandarin is fake. So Tony finds out, the actor finds the actor, then the real Mandarin turns up, Killian. He catches Tony, and he tells him about that night, 1999, the day you left me on that roof. The first 20 minutes I thought you turned up, the next hour was just, it was what changed him. Another thing, fake Mandarin with British accent. On the TV, there's a match playing, football match, Liverpool v Chelsea in the Champions League. Pretty sure it's a semi-final as well. So he is watching like a replay, right? Because that match was long before 2013 when this movie's released. So then Air Force One gets hijacked by Iron Patriot or War Machine. Well, James Rhodes isn't there, but his suit has been overtaken by one of the guys. Whatever that guy's name is, I forgot the guy's name. Is he bald? That flipping former soldier. He takes the Iron Patriot suit and to take the president, and he successfully does that. Tony goes to stop him, but then the guy releases all the passengers. He just drops them from the plane. So Tony has a choice: either go after the people or save the president, and he's not just going to let people die. So he goes down and he saves everyone. That was a cool scene. That was probably the coolest scene in the movie, actually. Him saving all those people from the plane. That was a dope scene. Although then you find out he wasn't really in there. He was controlling it, but he wasn't really in the suit. So there's that as well. This movie's all over the place for me. You know, I mean the story makes sense, but I don't think it was very good. So then let's skip to the final scene. Killian, I want to call him Killian because I don't want to call him the Mandarin. Okay, he's just Killian to me. He has the president in Iron Patriot suit hanging. He's about to do his final video. He's been doing videos, forgot to mention, propaganda videos featuring the Mandarin as an actor to scare Americans, etc. And he's going to film the very last one of killing the president. But then Tony and James come in and house party protocol. That's a pretty cool scene though. That's a pretty cool scene. The start of the final battle, when like 30 Iron Man suits come in on autopilot. That was a dope scene. That and the saving people scene off the plane, the two coolest scenes of the movie. Yeah, those are just good moments. Then you get this whole final battle, which was fine, I guess. James Rhodes saves the president while Tony fights everyone else, including Killian. Pepper supposedly dies, although she doesn't. She comes back 2 minutes later, but Killian is not far off killing Tony. Then Pepper saves him, and then Pepper kills Killian. So yeah, that is pretty much the climax. Oh yeah, forgot to mention, Killian puts extremis in Pepper. How did she get it out though? Did they ever explain that? Because she doesn't have it when she comes back in Spider-Man Homecoming. So maybe the extremis, you can get it out of someone. It doesn't stay in. I don't know, maybe she still has it. I don't flipping know. Maybe we find out Infinity War, because I'm pretty sure she's in that. So that could be interesting. Although it probably won't be. It'll probably just be like written off. It was an Iron Man 3. We're just gonna leave it there. That's probably what they'll do. Also, the way Pepper killed Killian, that was pretty badass as well. And then yeah, that's about it. The credits were pretty cool. The first, like, you know, after every Marvel movie, they do these little like 2-minute credits of like just really cool visuals. This one was no exception. It was very different to the rest, and it was done really well. Then you get the after credits scene, just one scene. You get Tony having a therapy session, or you think he is, with Bruce Banner, who is dozed off. And Tony basically, he's told, like, the story you get in the movie from 1999 all the way to this point. He's been telling Banner this whole time, and Banner fell asleep. And then Banner wakes up, and Tony says, "Where did I miss you?" And he said 999, elevator 999. So Tony's told him the whole story, or the whole plot of Iron Man 3, and the Hulk was asleep the whole time. I think that was a pretty funny moment. I guess, like, in the Avengers at the end, Tony and Banner went off together, so I'm guessing they kept in contact. I guess they kept a little friendship there, and then Tony went off to Malibu, California to live there, had his whole story thingy, came back, then met Bruce Banner, had a therapy session, sort of, and then had that conversation, I guess. And then he starts going about something else, then the credits roll. So yeah, Bruce Banner's like, oh, not again. But yeah, this will be a lot shorter than usual. Apologies for that, it's just that, I mean, I don't mind watching it. I didn't suffer watching it or anything like that. I mean, I'm happy to watch this whole thing. It's just that this one was definitely one of the weakest movies. Not the worst one, but I still think it was bad. I'd give it a 4 or 5 out of 10. 5 is probably really nice, but yeah, I'd give it a low rating. Iron Man 2 was worse though. Iron Man 2 definitely worse. It's kind of like, obviously just my opinion. You might disagree. You might say they're all good, but I just think for me, the Iron Man movies, they declined over time. The first one was great. Second one and third one were just bad, and it was a shame really, because after the first one was so good, you'd expect the rest. You know, obviously it doesn't always work out in trilogies, but it just got weaker. So you get that one great movie, then the rest is just trash. Sorry, lost my voice there, but yeah, the next one is for me, well, the next two are for me the 2 best MCU movies, and I can't watch it now because it's midnight. I watched 2 today. I will watch Captain America, Winter Soldier next, then Guardians of the Galaxy. The two best ones, in my opinion, by far. Nothing even now comes close to those two movies. They were just amazing, and I cannot wait to watch them and talk about them to you guys. So yeah, this is your boy Davidoff. Please like, share, subscribe. Thanks for watching. Have a good day and see ya.